Oh, how easy it is to be consumed by the worries of the world. All of us, at some stage in our lives, have experienced sublime happiness. Rapture. Rapture, according to the Chambers, delight, happiness, joy, bliss, ecstasy, euphoria. Perhaps you were moved by a great piece of music or poetry. Maybe it was your first kiss. But for me, rapture will always be the sea. Now, rapture in its purest form doesn't come cheap. An original 1953-54 C-Type Jaguar Sports would set you back around $1 million. That's if you could find one. Its successor, the D-Type, cost 7 more. One recently sold at auction for more than $4 million. It's supply and demand. The older Le Mans-style sports cars are now such a rarity, the prices have become prohibitive. And racing them, well, for most people's pockets, it's just too risky. And that's the reason so many international buyers are now beating a path to Errol Tempero's workshop door in Oamaru. Errol and his son specialise in making handcrafted copies of some of the most sought-after sports cars in the world.
I think the cars from the 50s and 60s had a flowing line to them. Everything was correct. Cars of later model just had bits tacked onto them.
These are craftsmen, sculptors of wood and metal who find creative expression in what's more commonly known as the coach building trade.
You've got to have an instinct for line, you've got to have an eye for shape, you've got to have a perspective, you've got to be able to be creative in a way that you've got to take an object, recreate it from the ground up.
The Temperos turn out about 5 cars a year, all pre-sold. If you want it, they'll make it. Ferrari, Aston Martin, Cunningham, but their biggest seller by far is the Jaguar.
We've sold 47 D-types. That's the model we've sold a lot of. There's 18 in the American market, and the rest is sort of scattered around New Zealand, Australia, and there's a couple in Japan.
So what are you paying for, say, a D-type or a C-type, something?
Well, that C-type there, do we have to get into prices?
Well, a rough ballpark.
That'll set you back around about 97 plus GST.
97,000?
Plus GST, yeah.
Everything from chassis to running gear is handcrafted or machined in the Tempero workshop.
Metal, as long as you treat it properly, will do most things for you. You've got to be careful with it, you've got to be gentle with it.
The finished product is as near as possible to the original. Take, for example, the C-Type, which Rod refuses to let me test drive.
Now, can I drive the car, please? No.
You don't like the word replica, do you?
No, no, it's not a good word. I don't like it. It's more like a copy, and a pretty close copy. It's got aluminium bodywork, it's got the correct Jaguar motor in it, it's got Weber carburetors.
It would be wrong to think that Tempero's deal only in the past. Take a look at this, the Jaguar XK180, Jaguar's latest concept vehicle, released this year in Paris. So new, in fact, you can't even get one. But there it is, on the Tempero's drawing board. They plan to have their first on the road within 6 months. If you're interested, join the queue. An unnamed American actor was in only last week. And even if they won't let incredibly trustworthy Holmes reporters test drive their vehicles, the Temperos do have a reputation for producing some of the finest new old cars around, at a fraction of the price of an original. I'll be careful,
no.
Please. Just one.
No.
One.
No.
One, please. One. I'd like to refer to the Chambers right now and the word misery. Unhappy, sad, wretched, dejected, despondent, downcast, heartbroken, crushed.
it.